Pornography is something that I've hesitated putting my face to, but as time goes on, I realise that for changes to happen in society, it takes people like myself or just the average person to talk about them. You know, I can't expect anyone else to talk about it if I don't want to put my face to it. And I believe it is a hidden epidemic. I don't think it adds enrichment to one's life, pornography. I think it, if anything, it devalues somebody's life. I think it adds nothing to it. So, in this video, I'm gonna, I'd like to talk about other aspects of pornography, but today I want to talk about porn addiction and talk about my experience and hopefully help you if you're struggling with a pornography addiction, to help give you some insights that may help you through your recovery. So, I'm 18 months porn free now, and looking at porn from hindsight has given me a more in-depth look into why I turned to pornography. And I think the root cause of porn addiction is really avoidance of problems in your life. For example, I had big problems with my living arrangements. I had big problems with my health because I was going from a chronic illness and I felt and looked atrocious. I had big problems with my self-worth. I had big problems with where I was heading in life. I had all these big questions that I didn't know the answers to, and I wasn't progressing in my life, that made me feel uncomfortable. And I think that pornography, in my case at least, was a response to many uncomfortable feelings that I didn't know how to deal with. So for example, I'd get anxiety about anything that was happening in my life. I would get anxious about my future. I'd get anxious about my current situation. I'd get anxious about my self-worth or anxious about the way I looked, and I would just feel like shit. And the answer to that in that situation was, because it was so overwhelming, was to turn to pornography, because looking at something novel, shocking, distracting, stopped me from feeling those feelings in the short term. However, when I wasn't looking at pornography, the fact that I'd looked at pornography and escalated to different kinds of material made me feel shit about myself. It added to the problems. Now, by adding to the problems, when I wasn't using pornography, I felt even worse about myself. And the answer to escaping in my brain, the loop that I'd made from a very young age, 7 or 8, was that when you feel those feelings, that the answer is distraction. Whether that was from video games, pornography, just anything that was a quick instant gratification, whether it was TV, everything to do with technology was a big part of recovery for me. So the answer in my brain was, if I'm feeling that way, it knows that pornography is an instant distraction out of that. It will get rid of those horrible, icky feelings that I'm feeling, and in return will give me a dopamine hit for as long as I'm watching it. And it was just a vicious cycle. So when it came to recovering from my pornography addiction, it was all about dismantling the reasons why I chose pornography. Why was it that I felt compelled to use pornography? And the thing is I'm sure many people that have been in this situation can relate to, is that pornography wasn't even sexual anymore. It all was about novelty and distraction and the shock of it, It was all about distracting and getting a dopamine hit from something new and novel. So my pornography addiction was all about dismantling the reasons why I want to distract myself from my life. And it was about fixing my life. It was about fixing my chronic health issues. It was about fixing my relationship with technology. It was about fixing my relationship with the people in my life. It was about looking at my life and going, what do I need to do to make my life something I want to, participate in and live in? And it was a long, tedious process getting to where I am now. where I'm 18 months free of pornography. And before the 18 months, I was going, you know, a month without porn, relapsing porn month. And it's taken a good 5-6 years to get to where I am now. And it was all about fixing my life. Fixing my relationship with myself, getting to a healthy point in my life where I had self-love, I had respect for myself and being proud of myself and moving in the direction that I wanted to move in. And it wasn't necessarily about anything else. It was about fixing the problems in my life and spending the time, instead of watching porn or distracting myself, but fixing my life. So I think the root cause of my addiction, at least, was fixing my life. I had to fix my life because the instant gratification is what, you know, it was the short-term pleasure that had long-term consequences. And it was about fixing the bigger picture. So if you're having a problem with an addiction right now, maybe there are aspects of your life that you want to escape from. And I think a large part of instant gratification is escapism. So I don't want to waste your time anymore. You know, it's coming up to 7 minutes. I've tried to make this video a couple times before and I can't help but make it a long video. So I'm sorry for that. But if you want a more in-depth video on certain aspects of recovery, make a comment in the section below. And I'll try and make a video on other aspects of pornography and really changing this hidden epidemic of society that is being a negative influence on the minds of young people growing up today. But yeah, I don't know how to end this video. I'll end it, okay? Leave a comment and I'll get back to you.